My name is Josh, and in today's practice, we're going to do a short little sequence working with strengthening the adductor muscles, the muscles that run along the inner thighs, the muscles that take the legs and hug them in towards the midline, a really important set of muscles that we use in many different postures. Some you might not even be aware of. So I hope you enjoy the class. Thanks for being here, and I look forward to practicing with you again very soon. My name is Josh, and in today's class, we're going to do a little bit of work strengthening the inner part of the thigh. So working with the adductor group of muscles, the muscles that take the legs and hug them in towards the midline. So begin by lying down on your back and set your feet flat to the floor with your knees bent, and relax the arms by your side. And then from there, go ahead and bring your feet a little bit closer together and open up your right knee to the right, just the right knee to the right, keeping the left foot flat. Whatever happens with the left hip and the left side of the pelvis, it doesn't matter if it lifts up away from the floor or not, but it is worth taking note of what does happen on the left side of the hip when the right knee opens up to the right. And then bring your right knee back up, and we'll do the same thing to the other side. Left knee opening up to the left. And taking a couple breaths there. All right, and then bring your left knee back up, and now take your feet as wide as the mat. Let both of your knees fall to the right, so you're on the outer edge of the right foot, the inner edge of the left foot. A couple breaths. And then back to center, and now take both of your knees to the left. So you're on the outer edge of the left foot and the inner edge of the right. Great, and then come back to center. So then bring your feet a little bit closer together. Maybe hips width distance apart. And then with your arms by your side, push down into the feet, and as you breathe in, raise your hips up, like you're doing bridge pose, and feel as if your thighs were squeezing into, let's say, like an imaginary block between the legs. And then as you exhale, lower your hips back down. And then repeat that again. As you inhale, raise the hips up. And as you exhale, lower the hips down. And then as you raise the hips up, again, pause there. Again, keeping that same feeling of the thighs squeezing in as if there was a block there. Then as you breathe in, reach both of your arms up overhead through the air to the floor behind you. And as you exhale, lower the arms down. And then inhale your arms back up. And exhale the arms down. And one more time, inhale your arms up. And then exhale your arms down. And from there, go ahead and lower your hips down to the ground. Take both of your knees into your chest. And then from there, go ahead and come up into a seated position. Take your right knee and open it up to the right, and bring the outside of your right thigh all the way down to the floor. Your left hip might lift up. Then slide your left elbow inside of the thigh. Squeeze your leg into the arm and turn your chest to the right. And this hugging in of the left leg engages the muscles of the left inner thigh. So hugging in and turning. All right. And then come back to center, and we'll do the same thing on the other side. So open up your left knee to the left. So you're bringing the outside of the thigh all the way down to the ground. And then squeeze your right leg into your right arm as you turn the chest to the left. Take a couple breaths there. Okay, and then come back to center. Then slide your shins behind you. Take a tabletop pose. So onto your hands and your knees. Spread the fingers comfortably, tuck your toes and breathe in. And then down dog as you breathe out. Raise your hips. Full breath in. And full breath out. All right. Look forward and step to the front of your mat. Inhale, lift halfway up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, mountain pose, arms up, And then as you exhale, lower your arms by your side. All right, so inhale to mountain pose, reach up. As you exhale, fold forward, hinge from your hips. Inhale, halfway lift. And then step back to plank pose and lower all the way down to the belly. Keep your toes tucked under. Knees are up, so toes down, knees up, hips down, and then lift up into cobra pose. So keeping the toes tucked, the knees up, hips are down and the chest is up. And breathe in. And then lower your chin. Plank or tabletop, press up. And then down dog as you exhale. All right, lift your right leg up. Step all the way through to a lunge, then lower your left knee down to the ground. Come up onto your fingertips. Take a deep breath in. As you exhale, rock your hips back onto your right heel, almost like a half splits, and focus on keeping your belly pressed up against your right thigh. And then bend your right knee and breathe in. And then take your hips back again. And one more time, bend and breathe in. And hips back. And one more time, bend and breathe in. And then take your hips back. Okay, then bend your right knee. From there, slide your hands to your hips and come up. So you're in like a modified crescent lunge. And now we'll do a twist, but a very specific type of twist that works the inner thigh. So you'll bring your left forearm to the inside of the right thigh or the inside of the knee. So it's not on top, it's not outside, but the forearm is inside of the knee. Then squeeze your leg into your arm, slide your palms together, and turn your chest to the right as best you can while squeezing into your left forearm from the right inner thigh. If you want, you can lift your back knee up off the ground. I'm not going to be here too long, but focus on squeezing from the right inner thigh into the arm, engaging the adductors, the adductors. One more breath in, and then downward facing dog. Lift your left leg up. Step through. Lower your right knee down. From the fingertips, breathe in. And then rock the hips back as you breathe out. Bend and breathe in. Hips back and breathe out. Again, bend and breathe in. Hips back and breathe out. One more time, bend and breathe in. And then hips back on the breath out. And then bend your left knee, slide your hands to your hips to come up. Then take your right forearm to the inside of the left thigh, squeezing the forearm into the thigh, engaging the inside of the left leg, the inner thigh, palms together, and then lift your back knee up off the floor if you'd like. The tricky part here is that you don't have leverage of the arms to turn, so you have to focus on turning from the contraction of the lower belly at the end of the exhale. So you're really utilizing the rotators of the spine, the deep core muscles. One more breath. And then downward facing dog. Hands down, step back. All right. Step to the front of your mat again. As you inhale, lift halfway up. Fold forward. Inhale, mountain pose, arms up. And then as you exhale, lower your arms by your side. Take your feet about hips width distance apart, parallel to each other, and then bend your knees and inhale to chair pose, taking Utkatasana. As you come into chair pose, the tendency is going to be for the knees to come forward, so shift them back. So your hips are moving away from the top of the mat and away from the ceiling. And then pretend, almost imagine there was a block between the thighs that you're squeezing into. So you're engaging the inner legs. Take another breath in. Stand up as you exhale and lower the arms. Again, bend your knees, inhale to chair pose. Hips move away from the top of the mat, away from the ceiling. Engage the inner thighs as if you're squeezing into a block and breathe in. And then stand up as you exhale and lower your arms. And then one more time, bend your knees. And then this time fold forward as you breathe out. Inhale, halfway lift. And then as you exhale, plant your palms, step back, and lower all the way down to the belly again. Inhale to cobra pose, keep your toes tucked, chest up. All right, then keeping your legs at this exact same height, point your toes to float the feet, bring the legs a little bit closer together. Try to engage the mid and the upper part of the back. Inhale. And then lower down, plank or tabletop, press up. And downward facing dog. All right, lift your right leg up. Take your right knee outside of your right arm and pull the leg into the arm. So you're engaging the right inner thigh, the legs from the outside pulling in. Right leg up. Exhale, step through to a lunge. Then inhale to warrior one. Come up with your hands on your hips. So your left foot is at an angle. Turn the shoulders so that they're square forward. And then reach the arms up overhead. Keep rotating the spine to keep the shoulders square. And again, your pelvis is going to face a little bit left. It's because of the angle of the back foot. Breathe in one more time. Now let's take pyramid pose, but slide your hands to the lower back. Rest your hands on your lower back and fold to your right thigh. So you have your belly on the thigh, chin to your chest and your forehead down. Arms are really passive. Take another breath in. Another full breath out. Bend your right knee. Inhale back to warrior one. Take the arms up overhead. Okay, then back to pyramid pose the same way. Straighten your front leg. Slide your hands to your lower back. Pause there. And then breathe in deeply. As you exhale, start to bend your right knee. Lower your left hand down, place it outside of your right foot, and then turn your chest open to the right. If it's too much on the shoulder to reach up, you can slide your hand to your hip. Full breath in. And then exhale your right hand down. Step to plank pose, this time lower halfway down. Upward facing dog. And then downward dog. Inhale your left leg up. Left knee comes outside of the left arm, pulling into the arm to engage the inner thighs. Left leg up, inhale. Exhale, step through. Inhale to warrior one, hands to hips. Square your shoulders forward. Keep pressing through the outside edge of the back foot. Arms up overhead. The other tendency in warrior one is for the front of the body to get a little bit too long and the back to try and arch. So maintain some contraction of the lower belly. Breathe in. And then as you exhale, straighten your front leg, slide your hands around the lower back, and fold to your left thigh. Belly onto the thigh. And keep breathing. And then we're going back to warrior one. So bend your left knee, separate the arms, reach up. And then as you exhale, back to pyramid pose, slide your hands around the lower back, belly to thigh. Stay there, breathe all the way in. Then as you exhale, bend your left knee, slide your right hand down outside of the foot, turn your chest. If you can, reach the left arm up. Good. Inhale one more time. And then exhale your left hand down to plank pose, lower halfway down. Inhale. And downward facing dog. Okay, take 3 breaths. All right, and then let's flow through that one time just for practice, for posterity. Look forward and step to the front of your mat. Inhale, lift halfway up. Fold forward as you exhale. Inhale, mountain pose, arms up. And then as you exhale, arms by your side. Feet hips width distance apart. Bend your knees. Inhale to chair pose. Hips back and down. And then fold forward as you breathe out. Inhale, halfway lift. As you exhale, step back and lower halfway down. Upward dog. Downward facing dog. Inhale your right leg up. Right knee outside of the arm, pulling in. Inhale, lift. Exhale, step through. Inhale, warrior one, arms up. Exhale to pyramid pose. Slide your hands around the lower back. Inhale, warrior one. Sink everything to the breath. Exhale, pyramid pose, hands to the lower back. Stay and breathe in. Bend your right knee as you breathe out. Lower your left hand. Inhale, twist open to the right. One breath. Exhale to low plank pose. Inhale. Downward facing dog. Inhale, left leg up. Left knee outside of the arm, pulling in. Inhale, lift. Exhale, step through. Inhale, warrior one, arms up. Exhale, pyramid pose, hands to lower back. Inhale, warrior one. Exhale, hands to lower back, pyramid pose. Stay there and breathe in. Bend your left knee as you breathe out. Right hand comes down. Inhale your left arm up. Exhale to low plank. Breathe in. And downward facing dog. Great. All right, go ahead and lift your right leg up. Step all the way through to a lunge, and then lower your left knee down and come up with your hands on your hips. All right, so from this position, turn your left shin out 90 degrees to your right. So you have your left shin parallel to the back edge of the mat, your right foot facing forward. Then make a fist with your right hand. Rest your hand inside of the heel. Now, when you squeeze the leg into the arm, the tendency is to squeeze from the knee, which is going to cause the right sitting bone to swing out to the right. So if you slide your hand back a little bit, closer to you, where the arm is resting not at the end of the knee, but a little bit more towards the middle part of the thigh, and squeeze in from the middle part of the thigh, you'll find that the right sitting bone actually pulls in towards the body, basically in line with your right heel, and that's what we want. So keep squeezing into the arm, engaging the inner thigh, and then come up like you're doing warrior two and reach the arms out. So again, the feeling is the right inner thigh engaging, but not from the knee, which is going to cause the right hip to swing right, but from the middle part of the thigh that keeps the hip in. So find that feeling there. And then back to downward facing dog. We'll try the same thing on the other side. So lift your left leg up. Step through, lower your right knee, come up with your hands on your hips. Then turn your right shin out 90 degrees. So you have your left thigh parallel to the long edges of the mat, your right shin parallel to the short edges of the mat. Make a fist with your left hand, knuckles inside of the heel, and then slide your hand back a little bit closer towards you. Squeeze from the left inner thigh into the arm, more from the middle part of the thigh than the knee, so your left hip stays in. Keep that feeling, come up into warrior two. Maintain the action of the left thigh squeezing in from the middle part of the thigh so that your left toes and your left knee and your left sitting bone, they stay in one line. Okay, and then hands down, downward facing dog. So next we'll work on those postures in more of the classical poses, versions of them at least. Inhale your right leg up. Exhale, lunge. Now spin your back foot flat. Make a fist with your right hand. Start inside of the heel. If you can, pull the hand back a little bit. So when you squeeze your leg into the arm, you're squeezing from the middle part of the thigh. Your right sitting bone, pull it in. And then side angle pose with your left arm overhead. You could always use the fingertips, or you can use a block if it helps. Even if the arm is inside of the knee, still feel though that you're not pulling in from the knee, but the middle part of the thigh. 2 more breaths. Keep squeezing into the arm, engaging the right adductor group of muscles. Then inhale to warrior two and come up. And it's the same thing. It's the middle part of the thigh, not the knee that's engaging, or that you're not moving from. Because again, the knee is going to cause the hip to swing out. The middle part of the thigh swings the hip in. Then reverse warrior, right arm up. Okay, and then downward facing dog. However you'd like to get there. Breathe in. And breathe out. Left leg up. Step through, then spin your back foot flat. Make a fist with your left hand. Start inside of the heel, pull the hand back, squeeze from the middle of the thigh, and right arm overhead. Again, if you're pulling from the knee and your left hip is swinging left, pull again from the middle of the thigh in so your left sitting bone swings in. 2 more breaths. Inhale to warrior two, come up. When you come up, still pretend that the arm was still there and you were pulling in from it, from the middle thigh. So left toes, left knee, left sitting bone line up. Reverse warrior, left arm up. Breathe in. And then exhale to downward facing dog, however you'd like to get there. Okay, lift your right leg up again. Step through to a lunge, then come up into warrior one with your hands on your hips. Take your right foot to the right just a little bit so that there's a bit of width to the stance, and then swing your right arm underneath the left arm. Bring your palms together. And if that's too much, then cooking the elbows alone is plenty. Now we're going to apply the same principles here in humble warrior. Fold inside of your right thigh. When you squeeze your knee into the shoulder, feel like you're squeezing though from the middle part of the thigh, so your right hip feels like it's swinging left, not right. And then you can maintain this position, squeezing into the shoulder, or if you'd like, unravel the arms. Take your right arm under the right leg, behind the back, and with your left hand, grab a hold of the right. Keep squeezing into the shoulder or the arm from the middle part of the thigh. And then try to lower your left shoulder down so that your chest doesn't open up. Where the power and the stability to lower the left shoulder will come from is the right inner thigh squeezing in. Take 2 more breaths. 1 more breath. And then downward facing dog, hands down, step back. Then left leg up. Step through. Inhale to warrior one, hands to hips. So the same thing, take your left foot a little bit to the left. Left arm under the right. And then from there, fold inside of the left thigh. Squeeze the knee into the shoulder from the middle part of the thigh so that your left hip swings in. And then if you'd like, you can unravel the arms, take the left hand under the leg, right hand around the lower back, keep squeezing from the middle part of the thigh, and use that engagement to bring the right shoulder down. All right, and then release your hands down and downward facing dog. All right, go ahead and step to the front of your mat. Lift halfway up. Fold forward. Inhale, mountain pose, arms up. And then lower your arms down. All right, so slide your hands to your hips. We'll do a little bit of balancing. Bend your knees. And then hook your right ankle on top of your left thigh like you're setting up figure 4. Try to keep the left knee bent, the hips moving away from the top of the mat. And slide your right arm under the left. Like eagle pose, lean forward. And bring your elbows in front of your right shin if you can. So it's almost like we're combining figure 4 with humble warrior with eagle pose. So a little bit of balance. 1 more breath out. Okay, slide your hands to your hips, stand up, lower your right foot down. And then bend your knees. Take your left ankle on top of your right thigh. Lean forward. Left arm under right. And then if you can, taking the elbows in front of the shin. Sitting back and down. 2 more breaths. Okay, unravel the arms, stand up, lower your left foot down. All right, then take your feet as wide as the mat. Turn your toes out. Squat down into malasana. Bring your elbows to the inner thighs. Turn your palms to face in. And then what I want you to do from here, the palms facing in, is squeeze into the arms and press into the legs simultaneously. Often this posture is taught with the palms together, but I find what that does is it tends to round the spine and collapse the chest. But when you turn the palms in, push out and lift the chest, it's a much more engaged pose in the back of the body. Keep squeezing into the arms. Take 1 more breath in. And then lower your hands down, raise your hips up, and turn your feet parallel to fold. For Uttanasana. Okay, then turn your toes out. Squat down into malasana again. Elbows to the inner thighs, palms facing in. Squeeze into the arms. And you're more than welcome to stay like this, or if you'd like to, for a couple breaths. I wouldn't necessarily call this crow pose. It's more like, better to think of this as malasana, but balancing on the hands. If you'd like though, lower the palms down, squeeze into the arms, lean forward, and then see if you can balance on the hands and raise the feet, the legs squeezing in. So just like malasana, legs squeezing in, arms pushing out. And then back to malasana. Breathe in deeply. And then hands down, fold forward, and turn the feet parallel. Great, lift halfway up. And then plant your palms, step back, lower halfway down. Upward dog, inhale. And downward facing dog. Great, slide your right knee behind your right wrist for half pigeon pose. Lower your left knee down. If it's too much on your right knee, you can let both of your hips fall to the right. Otherwise, fold forward. Just a couple breaths here. One more breath. And then press up onto your palms and downward facing dog. Slide your left knee behind your left wrist. Lie your shin down, scoot your right knee back. If it's too much on the left knee, let your hips fall to the left. And fold forward. Okay, and then press yourself back up and downward facing dog. All right, lower your knees down, swing your legs around out in front of you. Lie down onto your back. Let's take bridge pose one more time. Press down through the feet. Slight engagement of the inner thighs. Tuck the shoulders underneath you. Again, the legs should feel like you're squeezing into a block. Take one more breath. And then lower down. All right, bring both of your knees into your chest. Deep breath in. And then into Shavasana on the breath out. Make sure you set yourself up comfortably. And as always, I'm going to leave you here to rest as long as you'd like. I hope that helps in some way into ourselves and each other, the practice, teachings, and to the yoga tradition. Thank you.